I'd like to thank the people at Maker Faire for giving me an opportunity to introduce you to 3DaVinci. And what I'd like to do is talk to you about why we came out here today. We're all the way up from Huntsville, Alabama, but it was important that we make it here to Maker Faire. I also have a video to show you from our crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo, and it explains a lot about the people on our team. And I'd like to then talk to you some about the technical aspects of the software. And for the geeks here, that'll be the interesting part. So how 3DaVinci started was, just like a lot of you, I went to a fab lab and was having a good time, and then I took the kids home and we were going to do something, but we downloaded some software and I just had a really hard time with it. So I had to take some tutorials and be able to get up to speed. And I got to thinking about it, what makes this so hard? And I thought about it and I realized that I'm thinking in 3 dimensions, but I'm trying to work on a 2-dimensional screen with a 2-dimensional mouse, and the application there, it's a 2-dimensional representation of a 3-dimensional environment, and for something that comes back out in true 3D. And so there's a lot of back and forth that goes on here, and I wanted to try and understand, how do people perceive things? How do humans understand what they're looking at and how they want to manipulate it? And so that's when I came up with the idea for 3DaVinci, and I decided that I want to build a company so that people can bring their ideas from their head to their hands, and so that you're not constrained by technology but using it to your advantage, and so that you can create things. And so we decided to build 3DaVinci and make it specifically for 3D printers and your average person. You can kind of think of it. Those who've been around for a while, you remember command, you remember DOS, and you had command lines, and you would put in ipconfig /all or dash all, and /release /renew, that sort of thing. It was very fast and it was much more efficient. And when they came out with Windows, and you could just do that by going through menus and finding it, people say, well, what do you want to do that for? That's so slow. Well, yeah, it's slow, but it works, and you understood it. And I think that's kind of what we need now. So what I'd like to do is show you this video, explain to you a little bit about our team and what we're trying to accomplish. And it's going to go. It was working just a minute ago. Hang on a second, it's thinking really hard. Come on. Yeah, it was working. Just I think the computer's has something running in the background. Let's just give it a second.
Oh, okay.
So it's a computer problem, not a. Well, doesn't this always happen when you try and embed video in PowerPoint?
Did you just play the video? Maybe from your hard drive, just play the video?
Yeah.
Oh.
If I can even get it to respond now. Okay.
Can't even escape?
No. Hang on, it's thinking, let it think. I just woke it up. All right, there we go. Here we go. It's just running slow. Well, I apologize. No matter how much preparation you do, you always seem to end up with these problems.
I don't think it's.
Yeah, just let it go. Okay, well, let me go ahead and start and tell you what you're going to get with the application when it's released. And because it's built specifically for 3D printers, you'll have a drop-down menu up at the top. You'll click on that, and you'll select your 3D printer, whether it's a replicator or a cube or one of these small ones from Formlabs or something. You'll select your printer, and you'll get a build plate that's size to that volume for that specific printer. So if it's 6.5 by 8, then it'll be that size. If it's for the Gigabot and it's 15 by 16, then it'll be that size. But you'll have a plate specifically for that. Then you will it'll have functionality where you don't have to worry about it being watertight, and it'll automatically work, and you can. You don't have to, the wall settings will be correct, so you don't have to worry about trying to print something that's too thin for your printer. Now, once you get that going, you'll select from primitives or other things. You drop that on the plate, and you'll do solid modeling just like you would in something like Google SketchUp. But then you will have the ability to switch to sculpting mode, and where you can put dents in it, mold it, shape it, treat it like clay. And there aren't any other applications right now where you can do both. Then you'll be able to, you'll also have the functionality of putting this thing on a pottery wheel and having it spin, and you'll be able to shape it just like you would if you had a piece of clay on a pottery wheel. And this thing has just died on me.
Can you advance the slide and skip the video?
No. Hang on a second.
There you go.
Here. Maybe it just finally gave up.
You might have to close your PowerPoint for this, right? PowerPoint presentation and just reboot.
Okay, well, I guess we're just not going to have that going. You can go ahead and take it down.
Take that whole thing down.
Yeah, just unplug it.
I got it.
Okay, so the program is going to be built in Unity. Now, some of you may know Unity is primarily used for video games, and the reason we did that is because it's useful for what we want to do. It has a software developers kit and a large user community. There's a lot of people out there already programming in Unity, and what we're hoping that is that we'll have people that want to do things besides 3D printing will be able to build plugins to fit in with this. So we're going to have a baseline software with our code. We'll have a little bit of open source software, and then we'll have software built by outsiders, open source code developers, and to contribute to the program. We'll also have a software developers kit, so an API with all the things that you need, so that if you want to, you can build your own private plugin. So think like a company. If they want to make something that will plug into 3DaVinci, then they can write their own code. It won't be exposed. It won't be open source, but they'll be able to run it, and it'll be available. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. And so we hope that our ultimate goal is that we'll get people to adopt 3D printing en masse. We're hoping that this will be what really sets off the 3D printing revolution, because once you eliminate that barrier so that your average person can print to it, then things will then 3D printing can take off. I'd like for you to try and contribute to our crowdfunding campaign at Indiegogo. You can search for 3D printing and find 3DaVinci. It'll be there. Connect to us on social media. You can follow me on Twitter at William Clemons. Also, you have the Clemons Coding Company on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we would appreciate your support. We'd like for you to stop by our booth. It's in the Maker Pavilion in the back, on this side, up against the train the fence with the train tracks. About halfway back. We'd really like to get your suggestions and ideas. We'd like to really talk to you about what you use now and how you like to build things and how you think about it. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. Yes? Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. I kind of skipped over that. Right now, where we're at is we've spent the last month and a half working on requirements and writing a little bit of code where you can see a plane kind of moving around. We've been working real hard on the layouts for for where everything's going to go. We're also working on a new scheme for mouse movements. No, we're going to do more of an agile approach. We're planning on releasing our first version February 1st. So that's about 2 months of development, 1 month of testing to get a minimum viable product out there. We expect it to have a lot of the basic stuffs with the primitives and a few of the molding tools. You're going to see there'll be a lot of blank stuff for things that are coming. So you'll have menus where you can see, you'll have like fasteners, but you'll drill down into it and you'll have maybe a threaded bolt and nothing else. But that's just a placeholder for all the other stuff that's coming out there. What we want to do is really find out what people like, what they're using it for, and try and update our stuff with that. The expectation is that we get the first version out February 1st. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you for your time.